first thing you have to know is the word 0. Okay, from now on, when I talk about zeros or a0 in this polynomial topic, I'm not talking about the number 0 anymore. A 0, a polynomial, is a value that the variable which makes the polynomial equal to 0. That makes the polynomial equal to 0. In short term, if you have a polynomial px, if you plug alpha, right? So alpha is a0 of px. That means if you plug alpha into the parenthesis, basically you plug alpha instead of x, you have 0. Okay? So now I'm going to ask you a question. What is another word for 0? Root. Very good. So root is the solution in quadratic equation, right? So you have a solution or roots. The roots of a polynomial equation are values of the variable which satisfies or are the solutions that are, so let's just say, solutions to the equation. Okay, so you can also understand that when alpha is a root, then p alpha, or a solution of px, then p alpha is also 0. Okay, so this is the main vocabulary that you have to know before we start, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do is maybe get familiarized with factoring. Right, so let's take a very simple example starting from quadratic equation. Find the zeros of quadratic equation. X squared minus 4x plus 53. This is a quadratic equation. So basically, when you ask someone to find zeros, that means just solve the equation, right? So you have to put it as a 0 and then find x values that satisfy the whole equation as a 0. So you just have to apply to quadratic formula. Minus b is 4 plus or minus b squared, which is 16, minus 4 times bc, which is 53. Everything divided by 2a, which is 2. So when you simplify it, it's 4 plus minus 14i over 2, which is 2 plus minus 7i. So what you can say is that p, let's put this as p, x is x squared minus 4x plus 53. When your x is 2 plus 7i, then the whole thing is going to be 0. Okay, vice versa. If you plug 2 minus 7i instead of your x, you also get 0. That's why they're zeros. All right? Is it okay? I'm going to move on. Okay, stop me if you have any questions. Let's talk about cubic polynomial px. We have 2 times 0, z cubed, 5z, so not x anymore. Let's talk about z as your variable, minus 3z. Okay, so it's a cubic equation, cubic polynomial, and it's a trinomial, right? 3 terms. Then if I want to factor this to find zeros, I would suck z outside of the parentheses first. Sorry, I forgot square here. And then I am going to factor again this part. So 2z plus 3, and then 2z minus 1. So I can factor it like that. So what it means is that if you plug 0, then you have 0. Then minus 3, you also have 0. If you plug 1 over 2, you also have 0. So it's a 3 zeros, so you can figure it out. Okay, now it's clear. How many possible zeros can you have with cubic polynomial? It's obviously 3, exactly 3 different zeros possible, right? If you have a quartic polynomial, how many possible zeros do you have? 4. Very good. Very good. Okay,